Today we're talking about why starting a business is probably one of the best things that you can do. It might be one of the hardest things that you could, that you could ever do, but it is one of the best things that you do. I wrote a blog post a while back, and if you're on my email list, I'm going to send you this in a different version or a different style. But like I mentioned just a second ago, I really think that starting a business is one of the best things that you can do, because it's the people who start a business, it's the people who go out on a limb, that when you start a business and you accept that challenge, that's how you change the world. And if you want to change the world, you have to at least think like an entrepreneur. So I'm going to share with you 13 ways that being an entrepreneur and starting a business will make you a better person and a better human. Anyway, here we go. So if you are thinking about starting a business, if you are wanting to change the world, make an impact, if you want to leave something behind when you go start a business. So being an entrepreneur and starting a business is one of the greatest things that you can do. And entrepreneurs in the businesses that they start, and when they create new and amazing products and provide revolutionary solutions to real world problems, you can alter the course of history. Have you seen the video? It's this water jug that also doubles as a wheelbarrow, that people who are in third world countries that don't have access to free water, they don't have to carry the water. It functions as a wheelbarrow so they can carry things with them and travel with the water. I saw it on LinkedIn or something. It was really cool. But as I said, if you want to change the world, become an entrepreneur and start a business. Over the past few years, my business has really grown. If you've seen my year in review posts, I think you can go to ellorywells.com/2016 review /2015 review, and maybe even 2014 review, and it should take you to each one of those. But you've seen my business grow. Many of you actually have been here for most of that time. And I've met a lot of entrepreneurs, and one thing that I've noticed from meeting these amazing people is that they're very focused on personal development. So when I say starting an entrepreneur, that's part of the way. Personal development is part of the way it makes you a better person. And the more these entrepreneurs invest in themselves, the more their businesses grow. And I've seen this in my own personal life too. The more studying I do, the more learning that I do, the more people connect with and go to conferences, the better my business seems to do. But these entrepreneurs, they invest in themselves, and if you want to solve problems that keep increasing in complexity, you'll have to find newer and improved ways of thinking. If you've heard the phrase, yesterday's way of thinking won't solve tomorrow's problems, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then a couple of years ago, I went to the very first Thrive Make Money Matter conference, and that was a big game changer for me. And I will hope you will go. If you go to ellorywells.com or search my Facebook page, and search for Thrive, you will probably find a post that I did about what I learned while there. But when I went to that conference, the tagline is make money matter. I realized that making money and making a difference can really go hand in hand. And entrepreneurs who make money and make a difference are not only great business people, but they're great humans too. So if you truly want to make a difference in the world, start a business. And here are 13 ways that starting a business, yes, Thrive is dope. So 13 ways starting a business will make you a better person. Number one, I'm probably going to, by the way, lose track of the number because I don't have them numbered. I just have the ways. So the first one is starting a business teaches you to think for yourself. One of the hardest things I've ever done let me start that over. Man, I do my version of intermittent fasting, so I don't eat after like 9 p.m. and then I don't eat anything until like noon. And so I just ate some cereal and I'm burping, so I apologize for that. But it's real. It's real. Okay. One of the hardest things I've ever done is start my coaching and website services business. Well, it's businesses too. When you dedicate your life to entrepreneurship, you break free from people telling you what to do. And what was the lesson? Starting a business teaches you how to think for yourself. When you're sitting alone in your office, like I am right now, we're getting some Facebook comments, but I'm talking to a camera in an empty room with my cat talking in the background. But when you're sitting alone in your office, studio, garage, or shop, there's no one telling you what to do. There's no one telling me what to do. No one told me to start this Facebook Live. And when you do it or how you move forward, that's all up to you. So to be as successful as an entrepreneur, you'll have to think for yourself. The second one, starting a business teaches you how to manage your money. Growing up, we're rarely taught how to manage our money. And I remember in elementary school, I think it was second grade, it was back when Bank One was still around, I think, and they're probably got bought 10 times over, but they came in and they set up a table in the main hallway and they let us start a savings account for a few pennies, but that was about it. They didn't tell us how to invest it or anything like that. They probably wanted lifelong customers and make boatloads of interest, while we didn't get anything. But to start a business, you have to learn how to manage your money. And if you don't, you will run out. I can't tell you how many times in the middle of the week I've thought I need that software to be able to do this, and I just went and spent a few $100 on a new software package. And if I didn't manage my money, I would not be able to do that. Sorry. So, man, as in your personal income, when your business income, if your revenue exceeds your expenses, you make a profit. And successful entrepreneurs are also good money managers. I don't think you can be successful if you can't manage your money. So all of these guys who have bankrupted their business by overspending in corporate jets and gold toilets, they probably weren't successful entrepreneurs. In fact, they probably weren't the entrepreneur. They were probably someone the entrepreneur paid to take over the business while they took a paycheck. Next one, starting a business teaches you all about patience. Patience while you're coughing while doing a live video, for example. By the way, how many people are watching this? I don't get a count. Anyway, if you are watching this, say hello, because I can't see on my phone. I think I can see how many people are tuned in. I can't see that on the computer, so I apologize for not knowing. Someone said Ryan Stoltz, so I don't know if you're wanting Ryan to watch that. Hopefully he does. Anyway, starting business teaches you patience. Most of the successful entrepreneurs that we see have failed more times than the average person is even willing to try. Thank you, Gilly. So there's 4 people watching right now at this very moment. Yeah, most people just, they have really fallen victim to their own fear, whether it's a legit fear that but those are very rare. I mean, we don't get attacked by bears and tigers all that often. So most of our fears are really just made up crap that we tell ourselves. But back to what I was saying, most successful entrepreneurs have failed more times than the average person is even willing to try. And when you make the decision to start a business, you know you won't always get it right, but you can't give up if you want to be successful. Patience is required in almost every part of your business when working with customers, employees, business partners, suppliers, distributors, the guy who designed your website. Patience is absolutely required, and I often find that I move faster than the people I work with. I've always found that because I systematize and automate a lot of things. So I build into my work process things that allow me to move very fast. But I've had to learn patience. And success takes time, and not everyone moves at the pace that we want them to or the way that I want them to. So I've started saying this too. You can only lead as fast as people are able to follow. And I think that's important in business, especially when we're talking about patients like we are right now. You can only move as fast as you can bring people along with you. You won't be successful if you just leave them, breathing your dust. You've got to be able to bring people along with you. There's a phrase, it's lonely at the top. Well, if it's lonely at the top, you didn't do your job right as a leader, or in this case, as an entrepreneur. How much cooler would it be if you had brought people with you? I'm going on a cruise next week, and we are bringing people with us. But how much cooler would it be for the next trip for you to be able to bring other people who you've helped become successful, help bring them with you? Just a thought. Starting a business boosts your creativity. Entrepreneurs have to be creative, not just creative in the areas of art or design, but in problem solving, how to bring in new customers in almost every facet of your business. Creative on how to get a lighting set up in your office so that you can do this. Oh, that didn't work. There we go. Some of the lights went off. I don't know if you can tell. A little bit of automated lighting. That's one way that you have to be creative so you can have a well-lit studio for Facebook Live videos. Sometimes things go according to plan. Other times they don't. I want to say most of the time they don't, but that's probably not true either. But we are cruising to Mexico, Honduras, and Belize. We're going to 3 different countries on a 7-day cruise. And starting a business will teach you how to be creative, think on your feet and outside of the box, and approach problems with an open mind. I can't tell you how many times, and this is probably most of the time, the way that I went into a problem or went in to try to find a solution, that's not the way that the solution ended up working out. Doesn't mean I was wrong. It just means that I gained new information on how to do it. And you'll definitely have to be more creative if you want to start a business. Or when you start a business, you will have to become more creative. Starting a business teaches you how to work well with others. On one hand, when you start a business, you get to choose who you want to work with. I'm trying to think if there's any clients that I have in my business that I did not want to work with, and I think I chose to work with them. You can choose to follow up. You can choose to give them a proposal or a bid. You can choose to ask them for business or not. But a lot of times you get to choose who you want to work with, and I get to choose my clients who I work with and whom I perform or form partnerships with. But on the other hand, there's no way to grow your business and completely avoid working with someone with whom you don't get along. You might choose the person, but you don't always get to choose the problem. And you may get along great with somebody, but you might not see eye to eye on how to reach a solution. So you have to figure out how to work well with that person. And if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have to learn how to work well with others. While Steve Jobs is an excellent example of one entrepreneur who could force the my way or highway mentality, he's the exception, not the rule. And by the way, that did not work very well for him for the first half of his career with Apple. I mean, they kicked him out of the company because it was his way or the highway. After they were completely failing, did they bring him back. So he may be the exception, not the rule, but he actually does fit the rule that you have to go along to get along. That's not exactly what I want to say, because you need to have an opinion and drive towards your goals. But anyway, don't forget, Jobs had to make many compromises and he got fired. Starting a business, becoming an entrepreneur, teaches initiative. And I think this is probably a big one. I wrote a blog post. I don't have a URL for you off the top of my head, but it was about a dream that I had. And I was sitting there I was sitting there in a car with on the side of the road with my foot on the brake in this dream. Cars were coming and going. It was late at night. You couldn't really see much beyond the headlights, and I think that's kind of an important part of the dream is I couldn't see very far. It was a straight road. I think, but I couldn't see more than just 40 or 50 feet in front of me. Definitely not the whole road, what was coming or whatnot. But I don't remember in this situation who was sitting next to me, but or maybe I was in the passenger seat. I don't remember. There's a person in a car on the side of the road, and the person said to the person in the driver's seat, whether it was me hearing it, I think it was me hearing it, says nobody's going to tell you to go. Nobody's going to tell you to take your foot off the brake and move forward. And I want you to hear that as well, because we're talking about taking initiative. You absolutely have to if you're going to start a business. My business runs on the philosophy: if it's meant to be, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And if you want to start a business, you can't sit back and wait for things to happen. You absolutely have to take the initiative. You have to make things happen. And whether it's creating new products, reaching out to new clients, or figuring out new systems and processes, you will have to take the initiative in your business if you want to get anything done. You have to put yourself in the driver's seat and put your foot on the gas. No one will tell you to go, and you can't delegate initiative. Starting a business teaches you how to deal with rejection. By the way, I'm going to put a link here in the Facebook group, or in the thing here. Let me double check that link. It should be ellorywells.com/betterhuman. Yeah, ellorywells.com/betterhuman. Whoa. Let's do that. You can read the outline, and you can leave a comment if you would like to go to my website and check that out. Hop on my email list or something like that. But if you go to ellorywells.com/betterhuman, you can kind of follow along or see this or read it. Obviously, we're coming up on 20 minutes, and it won't take you 20 minutes to read it. So you're getting additional information and maybe a little bit of insight into me and maybe coughing or information about my awesome cruise by being on the video. But you can check me out at ellorywells.com/betterhuman. Anyway, starting a business teaches you how to deal with rejection. I get rejected all the time. People don't want me to coach them. They don't want me or my team to build or maintain their website or handle their marketing, and rejection is part of life. However, in business, when a prospective client says no, they often really mean not right now, or I need more information before I can commit. Depending on what you sell, your sales cycle can kind of be pretty long, so don't give up. Just because someone isn't ready to buy today doesn't mean they won't be ready to buy tomorrow or 6 weeks from now. Some of my coaching clients I have been keeping up with, keeping tabs on, communicating with, and encouraging them and checking in for up to a year before they decide to spend thousands of dollars with me. Maybe that's not acceptable for you. Maybe that's or appropriate because your products are smaller. But usually the more expensive the product, the longer that sales cycle would be. When I worked at Dell, the largest deal I ever did was right before I got fired. I sold a bunch of stuff. It was $3.28 million. Almost said 3.3. Yeah, almost $3.3 million to a school district in the San Francisco Bay Area. I worked on that for 4 or 5 months. And again, I just mentioned some of my coaching clients I've worked on as little as 45 days. Others, the longest was 18 months. It took me a while to finally break through to this guy, and I'm really enjoying working with him. But it does teach patience, persistence, and how to deal with rejection. But like I said, no doesn't necessarily mean absolutely no. It just means maybe not right now, or check back in. Starting a business teaches you how to plan for the future. In most jobs, unless you're in a management role, I just scrolled and lost my place. In most jobs, unless you are in a management role or a sales position within the company, you might not have to spend a whole lot of time planning for the future. We did our forecasts quarterly at Dell. Now I try to keep a forecast of what I want to do over the next 3 or 4 months. But a lot of people have not really had to plan for the future. Case in point, how much is in your retirement account right now? How much is in your emergency fund right now? How much time have you actually spent planning on? What's the furthest date that you have planned? This is a last minute kind of cruise, but we've been planning it for like 2 months. What's on your calendar the furthest out? As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you will have to learn how to plan for the future, build a sales pipeline, bring people into a sales funnel, move people in from interested into what I have 3 stages of people. It's interested, and then invested, and then I forgot the third one. It's another I one, but I talk about it in my book. The 3 types of people. I feel dumb. I cannot remember the 3 types of people that are in your audience. Where'd it go? If you know, throw it in the comments because I can't remember. It's involved, invested, involved. No, interested, involved, and then invested. I lost track when I lost the word interested, involved, invested. When you start a business, you can't avoid planning for the future and how you will move those people from just peripherally interested in what you're doing to involved in what you're doing and then invested in what you're doing, meaning they have spent money with you. Entrepreneurs have to plan future product developments, version 2.0. They have to plan for and build a pipeline of clients so they know where their next sale will likely come from. Entrepreneurs have to budget their sales from today so they won't run out of money 2 quarters from now, and they have to plan for future growth and expansion. An entrepreneur's job is never done, and there's always planning to do. So, do these things sound like things that will make you a better person? If it does sound like these things will make you a better human, leave a comment or just do a thumbs up. I don't even know if I can see thumbs up like flying across the screen when you're doing it from a computer. I don't know, but if you think these are the types of things that would make you or make somebody a better human, thumbs up. And if you think somebody needs to hear this, tag them in the comments. They won't know that you want them to be a better human until they go back and be like, why did so and so tag me in this? So you can avoid the awkward question of, so you don't think I'm a good human? You can avoid that. Starting a business teaches you how to communicate better. I'm a fairly introverted person. A lot of people don't believe me when I say that, but I am. But I have learned how to communicate more clearly. And honestly, poor communication is something that I see all the time. Like I have to ask for clarification. What do you mean? Can you say that a different way? Because people really, in general, I don't know how well we are trained to be good communicators, to be concise and direct and to the point. But if you want to be a successful entrepreneur and therefore a better human, you've got to learn how to communicate better. Most problems can be reduced to a matter of poor communication, and TV sitcoms thrive on miscommunication. When you make the decision to start a business, you'll also have to decide to be a better communicator. As an entrepreneur, there's virtually no part of your business where you do not have to communicate. From the emails you write, I've written several to my automation or my list in the last 24 hours. From the emails you write to the technical specifications for your product, to the sales copy on your site, or even how to advertise a Facebook Live video. Your business will rise or fall on how well you are able to communicate. Starting a business requires a positive attitude. Having a positive attitude is huge. And I'm about to get to one of the phrases that I came up with. This is an Elloryism a couple of years ago, and it's kind of been one of the guiding currents to my business. So I'll share that here in a second. But over the past few years, I've been able to eliminate almost every negative influence from my life. Remember, we get to choose who we work with largely. We don't always get to choose our customers or major clients, but we do have that choice in a lot of ways. And I have been able to get rid of most of the negativity that used to surround me 5 days a week. It's a stark contrast to the prior few years while working in corporate America, where I was surrounded by people with bad attitudes all the time and negativity. And to be honest, my attitude wasn't all that great either. If you knew me when I worked in corporate America, grumpy might have been an accurate word. I don't know. But here's the phrase that I came up with a few years ago that has been kind of a guiding message through the growth of my business. And here it is. You might want to write this down. Just pause for effect and to let you grab a pen. You can't make a positive change with a negative attitude. I'll say it one more time. You can't make a positive change with a negative attitude. Think about that for a second. Are you the Debbie Downer? Are you the Scrooge? Are you the guy that nobody, or girl, that nobody wants to complain to, or hang out with because you're complaining all the time? You can't make a positive change with a negative attitude. Nobody wants to work with someone with a bad attitude. You can't change the world with a bad attitude. Sure, you might have a chip on your shoulder. Sure, you can have a chip on your shoulder or a wrong that you need to make right in the world, but you have to go about it with a positive attitude. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs honestly have a chip on their shoulder. They've been told that they couldn't do something. They've been told that you're dumb, you'll fail. You have been challenged in some way, so you have to. You've got to prove people wrong, and I think that's kind of okay, but you have to go about it with a positive attitude. Just remember that. Starting a business teaches you how to deal with adversity. From a very young age, we are told what to do, where to go, where to sit, what to eat, what to study, how to behave, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And our education system is designed to create workers, not thinkers. When Ford came up with I don't know if he came up with it, popularized the factory system, the 40 hours a week, they modeled that. They had the need, and it's not capital. I'm a big fan of capitalism. It's not that capitalism is bad, but we had a need to fund World War I and II and have equipment. And we needed people who could work those factories to make the equipment that kept our soldiers alive. So it's not a negative thing, but our education system was designed and put into place and kept in place as a means of creating employees instead of free-thinking, creative-thinking employers. And I've got a post about that. Actually, it might be on ElloryWells.com right now. It is called The Death of the Entrepreneurial Spirit, and I think you'll really like that. If that little bit of history was interesting to you, go to one of my clients is messaging me. Yeah, The Death of the Entrepreneurial Spirit. If you go to ElloryWells.com/blog, it's right there. If that little bit of history is interesting to you, or you like to put some of this stuff into a larger historical context, check that out. But like I said, from a young age, we were told what to do, where to sit, what to go. For me, it was stop talking. which oddly enough, I'm not a talker these days. But that was something, talking out of turn was what I got told a lot when I was a kid. Anyway, so when you decide to start a business, or when you decided that starting a business is something that you want to do, you'll have to learn how to think on your own and how to deal with adversity. Even some of my best friends and business partners have differing views on how things should be done. We talked about that a second ago. And finding a compromise has been a key to my business's growth. There's probably very few things that I have not compromised on, and there are probably things that I will not ever compromise on, and I think that's important as well. It's called having a spine, having a backbone, but it also means you know what you want and what you will and will not do. However, the large percentage of things are finding some sort of middle ground, when to meet, how to do it. I definitely, in the business that I lead and with the types of clients that I have, they're looking to me for guidance. So I fortunately get to, it's not my way or the highway, but they fit into a framework that I've already created. So it works out for me. Starting a business teaches you how to be a leader. Boom. You cannot start a business if you are not a leader. If you can't make decisions, entrepreneurship isn't for you. And if you can't make decisions, you can't be a leader. Entrepreneurship is leadership. Do you agree? If you agree that entrepreneurship is leadership, say I agree in the comments, or hit the like button a bunch of times, or the thumbs up or whatever. As an entrepreneur, you must lead your clients to a mutually beneficial decision. You have to lead your teams to get things done, and you have to lead yourself to get out of bed, even on the bad days, to focus on your work and not on YouTube or video games, and to make sure things get done. If you can't lead yourself, you can't lead others. And if you can't do those two things, you have no business starting a business. Starting a business requires you to solve problems. And on the blog post, I've got this dude in a tie fixing a bike wheel. Looking closer at the picture, it looks like there's no rubber on it, but he's got a gear in his hand. I don't know exactly what he's doing. But he's solving a problem. Problem in this case looks like he can't get to work or home from work without fixing his bike. I'm sure he's not a mechanic because he's wearing a white shirt and a bright tie, so he's probably not going to do those kinds of things. But he has a problem and he's going to solve it. And I was on Smart Passive Income with Pat Flynn a couple of months ago, and as I said in that interview, your business must solve a problem. If it doesn't, if your business does not solve a problem, pack up and go home. Does that make you mad? Does it make you frustrated? Better yet, redirect your energy towards something that does change the world for the better. It's just my advice there. But an entrepreneur's ability to solve problems is important even beyond the product development phase. As an entrepreneur, you'll have to solve problems when your product doesn't work as intended. You'll have to solve problems between your business partners and employees. If they don't get along, that's kind of a problem. You'll even have to solve problems with your clients when you don't see eye to eye with them. Fortunately, I don't know where that word came from, the attitude of my way or the highway won't help you start or grow your business. Conflict resolution is a required skill if you want to be successful. All right, let's wrap things up. If you've got any questions, let me know. But I got a little bit more to say. Of course I do. I am a podcaster, so I always have something to say, and a blogger, so I always have an opinion. But though I know not everyone has the skill or will, the talent or the ability, the talent or the desire, I should say, to start their own business, I think everybody should try. Starting a business, in addition to all the things that we just talked about, teaches self-reliance. It shows us that we are the architects of our own future and that we can achieve amazing things. When you start a business, you realize that you are in the driver's seat. Um, Even if you aren't a business owner, you are in the driver's seat. You are where you are because you've done what you've done, and let's see if I can say this in a witty way. You get what you got because of what you've done. I'm not saying karma. I'm not saying something like that, but we largely the things that we have or possess or the people that are in our lives because of the things that we've done, whether they're good or bad. If you're surrounded by holes, it's probably because you're a hole or you have not gotten them out of your life. If you are interested in entrepreneurship and if you'd like someone like me to guide you along the way, my business last year grew about 83%. The year before that, it was 404%. Sorry, I couldn't keep up quadrupling the size of my business every time. Let me know. ElloryWells.com/coach. And in fact, if you apply between now and Sunday when we leave on our cruise at 4 o'clock, I've got a 15% off coupon code for you. I'll put it here right there at the very end. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. You are absolutely correct. Here's the coupon code. Coach15, COACH15. You can get up to 15% off. All right, not up to. You do get 15% off any of my coaching packages. That's up to over $1,100 on my highest package. ElloryWells.com/coach. ElloryWells.com/coach. If you like this kind of stuff and you want some more personal attention on how I have grown my business significantly, how I have transitioned from going into a cubicle ocean every day and surrounding myself with grumpy people with bad attitudes into choosing who I work with, being able to pick up and leave and go on a 7-day cruise, no phone or email, and not be dreading it or dreading coming back from it. Let's get that business started. ElloryWells.com/coach. And then I just dropped the coupon code. It expires at 3:59 and 59 seconds on Sunday. Computer does it. I don't do it. So if you try to use it at 4:01, you will have to pay full price. But I'm telling you that now, so that should not come as a surprise. If you like this post, check out ElloryWells.com. If you want this one specifically, ElloryWells.com/betterhuman. And I really do believe that starting a business will make you a better person for all the reasons that we just discussed. I hope you have an awesome day.